Marvel apparently looking at Snow White star Rachel Zegler to be in the MCU. Good actress, controversial to say the least. Smart move by Marvel. Get people talking. Is that going to help people in the box office? We'll talk about that. We have so many other things. James Gunn confirmed some canon stuff. It says Peacemaker. Most of Peacemaker is canon, except some of it, but most of it is. In a very confusing statement that we'll discuss. There were a few other things. Roxy has a lot of I was looking. Roxy sent me her TV picks this week, and I think it's the most stacked for TV picks. She may agree or disagree, but it's pretty stacked. So we'll be talking about that and more, and the ongoing feud about Yellowstone that Roxy and Rocha are having. It is the Kristian Harloff Show. It is the live edition here on this wonderful Tuesday. I hope you guys are doing good. We'll find out more about it in just a little bit. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. It is, once again, Tuesday. I was going to say Thursday, but that would be lying to you. I don't want to do that. Joining me on the show every Tuesday, Roxy Stryer is here.
Hello.
Brett Sheridan is there. The three of us.
I am talking.
Is that
now,
a great shot?
I am talking.
Wait, is that
I'm
great shot?
talking a lot.
I literally haven't moved, Kristian.
There you go. Better shot. So it is good to have you guys back on the show.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Kristian. I agree and disagree with everything you just said.
Oh, so
go ahead. Okay.
So Brett got hammered last week in the comments, Roxy. I don't know if you saw that.
No, what happened?
Well, you remember last week he wasn't really saying anything at all. And
how did he get hammered?
Because the audience was like, why isn't Brett talking? And then Brett said that his mom was upset about it. So,
well, he really? I usually read the comments. I didn't see you get hammered. You said you were in a bad mood last week.
Yeah, and also I didn't really have anything to add. You guys were talking a lot about Penguin. I wish I had seen it, and I haven't yet. So, it's just kind of one of those things. But we'll see how I can do today.
Well, it's one I sent him the stories, which is the other thing too. And I said
when I do shows with people and I haven't seen what they're talking about, ask questions. I think
that's what I told him. That's what I said. That's what I said to him today. I said,
honestly, you go back and watch the tape. You guys are just bop, 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 bop. There, I mean, like I would have had to have interrupted you in a not nice, not.
That's what it is to do a 3-person show. You got it.
I understand that.
There's no world in which you interrupt, and Kristian and I are like, how dare you? How dare you interrupt?
But you get what I'm saying. It would have interrupted the flow of your conversation in a way that
I know that
would not.
Right, and like we're in the middle.
I don't know.
Did you go somewhere?
I interrupt all the time. I interrupt myself.
Yeah, but Brett's right. It's not always a good time to do it.
No, that was perfect timing. Why are you so tan?
No, it's pretty bad. But I want to I'll get you off on a tangent. So apparently you have been paying attention to what Rocha has been saying, right?
So bizarre. Truly bizarre. Because you guys know people will like talk about my movie opinions or whatever and say I don't agree with her movie picks. Totally fine. I'm an average moviegoer. I watch the amount of movies that a movie fan watches a year. If you want to be like, okay, I don't like her fashion choices or her taste in music is very like one genre, totally legitimate. You could say that about that. If you don't like how I do my hair or my makeup because whatever it is. But to say that I don't know a person more knowledgeable on the planet than the current scope of television than I am. Like I watch more television than anybody we know. So for Rocha to be like, I have decades of TV on her. I've been watching. This is not literally since I was 5. I've watched at least, I don't know, 50 shows a year. So I'm super curious why he thinks he's more television knowledgeable than me.
I don't know.
It's just such a weird take. Like,
what's hilarious is that that's not even where the debate started. The debate started where you guys both, is Kelly Riley, is that her name?
yeah. So, I actually don't see where he's coming from, which is the craziest part, because sometimes when you're watching something, I could be like, yeah, I feel this way, but I could see what you're saying. I feel like he's watching it with his eyes closed, because I don't know how it's possible that you watch her performance and you don't think that she is just like
Amazing.
Yeah,
Roxy,
it's the best.
I think what Roke is saying when he says he has decades of TV knowledge is that he saw The Honeymooners when it came out. So he's seen shows like
he auditioned for it
decades before you. Maybe that's what the comment meant.
You know what? That actually, I'm sure that might be what he actually did mean, Brett. But when I became the host of TV Fights, I had to watch every show that was being fought. So we would do shows on shows from the 50s, 60s that I had heard of and maybe only seen one episode. And I would watch 10 episodes to prepare if I knew somebody was fighting for something.
Yeah.
So I don't even know that he has classic television on me. It's possible. But when I heard that, I was like, oh, he's really lost it, because I'm obsessed with Rocha. Him and I host so well together. I haven't seen him in so long, but he's got a place in my heart forever. I love Rocha. Well, but worse than the Kelly Riley take is that he has television on me, because nobody has television on me. I don't even think Makuga has television on me at this point.
Maybe not at this point, because everything he's got a lot going on. But I mean, at one point,
because Rocha and Makuga have spouses.
Yeah, at one point, I think Makuga could probably be in the conversation, but no, I didn't.
100%.
Yeah, and I didn't really say anything. Brett, what do you feel about all this?
I mean, here's the thing. Rocha did go to school with Don Knotts, and they were best friends, and I think that's what he means. I don't know why that would even come into question. Like, you have decades more experience. This is just talking about one specific show, correct? So
we're talking. It came from.
He just literally brought it up.
Yeah, it's this debate with Kelly Riley from Yellowstone, and Roxy thinks.
Yeah, I mean, that's a non-issue of your watching.
This is how it happened, Brett. He said the Streamlab came in and it said, is Beth on TV the best character? Kristian and Rocha for a second didn't know who it was talking about.
Right, which is okay for me. But if somebody's making a case of knowing more television.
And then he was like, oh, yeah, maybe from Yellowstone. And then Kristian was like, oh, yeah, Roxy's got a bone to pick with you. She wants to debate that because she thinks that Kelly Riley is amazing. And he was like, Roxy doesn't know, and then stopped himself, because I think the rest of that sentence was Roxy doesn't know anything, or Roxy doesn't know anything about TV, which would have been egregious, but he stopped himself. He said, Roxy doesn't know, and then said, listen, I have decades of experience in television on Roxy.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's a good lead up, though. In this, like I said on the show yesterday, it's a great lead up to when this debate happens. It really is.
You literally are just calling yourself older than me.
I can't wait to see it. So we'll see.
It is a fact. But
exactly.
You know what? I actually don't know Kristian. Like, I'm not really interested in debating him for one reason, and one reason only. We are talking about whether you like an actress or not. What's the debate?
I think it's more about making a case. I think it's more about, to the audience, about making a case of why it is a good performance, and you're not wrong. It's absolutely going to end with, it's still an opinion on who.
Yeah, it's an opinion. That's the problem.
The question is who makes the better case of their opinion, I guess, is what it is.
I don't know how you argue that something's a good performance other than you think that it is believable.
Sure.
Like,
right, and it's got to resonate.
He said, oh, Brett, he goes, and I know women. I know strong women. And I know when somebody's talking like a strong woman versus being a strong woman. And that's when I literally was like, I don't know how I could debate this person. If the debate is you know strong women. I'm not saying he doesn't know strong women.
Yeah.
But you are one.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know how to like.
right. Well, we
where
got
go from there.
there's so much. There's so much. But let's
He
get
knows
let's get
strong women. I love you, Rocha.
okay, I know, I understand. But let's get away from controversial stuff. No, none of that.
Oh.
Let's talk about Rachel Zegler, which is
Strong women.
Rachel Zegler, who feels like she's in the news for maybe a lot of the wrong reasons. A lot of times, is in the news this time for maybe a little bit of both. Snow White and Shazam: Fury of the Gods star Rachel Zegler is reportedly being eyed for an MCU role. After taking on a lead role in Shazam: Fury of the Gods, a new rumor claims that Rachel Zegler will make the leap from Snow White to the Marvel Cinematic Universe if Marvel Studios has its way. Despite delivering impressive performances in movies like West Side Story and The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Rachel Zegler has found herself in the midst of controversy thanks to her role in Snow White. Her playing the iconic Disney princess led to the expected racist backlash, though Zegler also upset many fans when she made some choice remarks about the character and her relationship with Prince Charming. Throw in Disney and filmmaker Mark Webb's decision to modernize certain elements of the Snow White story, and the odds are arguably stacked against the live-action remake. Now, though, it sounds like Zegler might be planning to rebound with a role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. According to Scooper, My Time to Shine, Marvel Studios wants Rachel Zegler for a role. They don't elaborate on what she could play, but we'd imagine she'd be one of the many rising stars who Marvel Studios would like to add to one of its many franchises. She's no stranger to superhero fare. After playing Athena in 2023 Shazam: Fury of the Gods, the actor received positive reviews for her work in the DC Comics movie and would be a good fit for any number of characters in the MCU, especially as the new X-Men franchise starts taking shape. Obviously, it's really fun to play Snow White, but it's cool to take a walk on the wild side every now and then. She said, I think coming into a sequel is a bit different than doing a reimagination or a live-action version or even a prequel. DC fans are so intelligent about the lore behind everything, so you don't want to disappoint them. It comes with a lot of pressure. As for her own franchise goals, she said, I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. Something that I always say is that I feel lucky that we get new Star Wars content. I'm never going to complain about getting more from a franchise I love so much. Only time will tell whether she joins the MCU, though we can't imagine Snow White will make much of a difference either way. The movie is currently expected to do well at the box office, but she starred in more hits than misses and could bounce back by working with Marvel Studios. Okay. So there's a lot to talk about here. Because the question is going to be, if it is an X-Men movie or one of those movies aren't going to take place until another 3 or 4 years from now. And as everybody on this panel knows, any backlash and all those stuff, those storms, they die down, right? The problem is that Rachel Zegler, for whatever you want to say, better or for worse, depending on how you're looking at it, with if you're a studio exec, I think it's worse. It's very active in social media. If you're just someone who likes her personality and believes in her beliefs, then you're rooting her on and saying, don't back down, do your thing. But as a studio executive trying to make money, you're going to be biting your fingers every time you cast her. And
I could not disagree more.
Well, it's already been proven.
Put me on my high horse for a second.
Yeah. Well, let me finish I want to hear your point on this. Let me finish my point on it, and then you can go off on it. But I think that the problem is with what because of the problems that she caused with Snow White already. They had to do reshoots, they had to do a bunch of stuff, they had to backtrack, they had to have her backtracking and stuff that she's saying in interviews already. You can tell the difference in tone with the way she's talking.
What are you talking about? Because of the problem she caused, they had to do reshoots. You're saying because of the one sentence she said about the prince, they had to go and reshoot part of the movie?
They're already doing reshoots for a lot of the things when they showed like the dwarves and things of that nature. But I think that potentially, if you believe some of the rumors of the things that the retelling of the movie and having the major pushback after she revealed it in the interviews themselves about some of the things in the way they're not doing the traditional, and that basically the prince was kind of not even was fairly worthless. From if you listen to the words that she said in the interview, they probably did some more and did some reshoots and did some things to maybe make it less of the warrior thing, and not she really shit on the traditional side of what Snow White was. But either way. So you can laugh about it all you want. It's the way that I feel about it, and you're going to have your opinion, and I'm going to thoroughly disagree with it. But I promise you, Otis, in the middle of your conversation, I won't laugh at you about it.
I'm not trying to laugh, but you said thoroughly shit on.
She did. She's early.
It was one sentence one time.
No, it wasn't one sentence. It was a couple of different sentences that she talked about in her.
Okay, so maybe I'm uninformed. Tell me,
Okay.
other than saying this isn't the 1930s, Prince Charming's not going to come and save the princess.
Said he was a stalker. Said it was weird. Said like all these different things about how she's like that whole comment of it was weird. It's basically that she was like stalking her is what she said. And
you're talking about the one interview.
There's a few of them, and then she did another one where she was a longer one with Gal Gadot. It doesn't matter. The point is, it didn't help the Disney. It didn't help the movie because it was like a major backlash about it, and she even in her interview says backtracked on it. But the other side of it is, so the election happens, right? She's on her social media, which she is 100% in the right to do. It is her social media. She can, and I've always been an advocate of this. Your social media, if you're on what I don't think is the way that she gave that interview was right for about Snow White. That I don't agree with. I think that she should have had someone PR give a couple different answers she could have given to help promote the film. That's a separate thing. On your social media, you can say whatever you want. You don't like the president. You don't like who was elected. You are 100% in your right to say whatever the hell you want. But you also have to be aware, as I said, when you're doing big budget, huge movies, both sides of the aisle are watching your movies. So you have to be aware of that stuff too. That you're going to be in the crosshair, if you will, of people who already don't like you and now don't want to support your movies. And I don't think Marvel needs that right now. I don't think if she's going to star in a movie, if she's going to star, be like the lead, and I will also say this: I think she's a phenomenal actress. I thought she was great in the Hunger Games movie, and that was after the Snow White controversy. I'm not one of these people that's going to go like, oh, because of what she said, I'm not going to see her movies. That's not me. But you know me, Roxy. I always think about it in the business side of things. And if I was a business executive, right now, depending on when I'm making this movie, I said, is there anybody else at the moment? Just at the moment, is there anybody else? Now, you agree with none of that. So go ahead.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I didn't say that at all.
Okay.
People don't like her.
Yeah.
So you're kind of your people a little bit.
But I don't. But I do like her. I do like her acting. I like her acting. I don't like her antics.
Right. But I wasn't talking about her acting.
Okay.
I'm just saying people don't like her, which is a problem. So I'm not saying that that's not a problem. I think that this is a ridiculous problem, but it is clearly a problem because you are not the only one. I'm just baffled. Like, I continue to be baffled because stating facts. I do not know this girl. I have never met this girl. She could be a living piece of crap. I have no idea because I don't know her. All I know is exactly what you know, exactly what every person knows, which is what she has said so far. So far, she has, in her short-lived career, because she is extremely young, she was in West Side Story, which I don't remember there being any controversy about her in that movie. People were really excited. She was cast straight out of high school. She blew people away, and that put her on the map for everybody. After that, there was these comments for Snow White, which was like very short-lived. And she said, pretty much, my bad. Didn't mean to upset people. That was her personal thoughts on the movie. Completely blame the publicist on that one. How are you not going to give her media training on what to and what not to say? Agreed. I honestly have similar thoughts, not the same thoughts, but similar thoughts about wanting differences for, I've talked a lot about Lois Lane, and I really like when they go in a different direction with the character and she's not constantly drowning with Superman needing to come save her like she was in previous comics. I feel the same about a lot of Disney princesses where it's fun, where we get to see more Mulans of the world who go out there and kick butt. So I like when they kind of adjust things. I wouldn't have verbalized it the way that she did, but I hear what she was trying to say. Also, not that big of a deal. That's just like one small comment that I think that she, and you said multiple comments, and you might be right, and you are right, that it could have been multiple comments in that one day, but it wasn't days and months and weeks of press of her shitting on the character.
No. And I think it's a few people felt slighted that if you did like that stuff, because there was a TikTok that I saw that was really good about it, saying just because, women don't want to be the warrior or be that person doesn't mean if they're looking for love, it doesn't mean the wrong thing. And I think it was
completely.
I think you're right.
All I can speak of is what I'm interested in for movies, but that doesn't mean that there's not merit to it. That's what choice is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should be able to do what you want with your life. And then there was the post-election thing, which I read and was like, ooh, girl, like, okay. But why don't we have articles about what John Voight posted post-election? Or
John Voight ain't starring in any movies anytime soon. He's not in the public. He's not in the public light.
During all of it, he was starring in Ray Donovan and everywhere, Kristian.
Right.
But it's not just him. Like,
who else that's relevant right now?
Zachary Levi.
And what happened to him? He's not. They pushed him way out the door for talking.
So many relevant people. I mean, literally. Half the country voted one way, Kristian. There's a lot of celebrities who have been very, very vocal about their support for Trump. So I think that the problem was not her being vocal about her support for Kamala. The problem is that people are really annoyed right now, rightfully so, I think rightfully so, about people who are completely dismissing that more than half of our country, by a lot, had a different feeling than she did. It's not smart business, but does it make me hate the woman? No. And I just think that this rhetoric around her is people don't want her cast like they don't want sexual predators cast. It's weird.
Right.
Like, she's a young girl who has 2 times in her short career said something that maybe people disagreed with. She didn't do anything crazy or horrible. So this, we shouldn't put her in movies. While I hear you, because people really don't like her right now.
Right. That's where
so upsetting.
I'm coming more so of the fact where it's like, look, if they cast her in a movie, most likely the role that you're going to cast her for is going to be elevated because she's good. She was Shazam 2, not a great movie. She's good in that movie. She's really good. And like I said, she's good. She's good in everything she's in. She's a good actress. You're going to elevate the movie. You will. I'm just saying with Marvel where they're at right now, where you're trying to get, and they've said this, they're trying to get the public to get back to that we love Marvel thing that was there from phases 1 to 3, and putting any controversy on it right now. It's like, there are a lot of great actors out there that you could put in a role. It's like but the question is, again, that's why I made it clear. Are you having her in an ensemble? Is she one of the X-Men? Then fine. Who gives a shit? She's not gonna, just because she's in. If you're putting it on her shoulders to lead a movie, I think that's a risky thing. I think if you're putting her in a movie, like I said, it takes time for it to die down, and it will. The question is, when it comes to Twitter and everything else too, or interviews, is she going to say something again? If I'm that executive going, is she going to, if I cast her in the X-Men as Rogue, is she going to shit on the way that we did Rogue in the past? Is she going to piss off the fans? Is she going to piss off the X-Men fans? Like, what? I get nervous. I get in the same way that I do every time Mike Kalinowski tweets.
I guess that really transparency to me is just so much more attractive at this point than the smoke and mirrors. Like, for example, one of the biggest Marvel stars of the last of the last decade would be Chris Pratt. Right. And there were all of these stories that came out about him having anti-gay beliefs and going to an anti-gay church. But because he just decided, I'm actually not going to speak on that, even though I do go there, and I'm just not going to post things on social.
Right.
We're more okay with that than we are with somebody just saying it how they feel. Like, we're okay with somebody feeling a certain way as long as they don't verbalize it, which is kind of where I feel like we are as a society these days.
I understand that, but it's also, and this is where, and this is the point of view I always have. This is a business. And in the same way,
I know it is.
Yeah. In the same way when you're going to spend, like I mentioned this the other day when it came to when we mentioned the Acolyte. When the Acolyte, you're spending $230 million, you have to cast a net that's going to catch everybody. You just have to. That by process of elimination, you have to. You can't go after
completely.
one,
I'm just speaking right now on I'm part of everybody, right? And what I'm attracted to. That's why I didn't start with what I think they should do.
But you're going to go see her. But you're the one that because of what you just said. You're going to see her, right? So it doesn't matter. Like she can, because even if you disagree with her posts, you say, you know what? I like Rachel Zegler, and I think she should have her voice.
And I wholeheartedly disagree with her post, by the way. I thought that was like, I was like, if that was my friend, I would call her and say,
what are you doing?
It's a horrible way to feel.
Right.
Why do you feel that way?
And why would you post it?
Why would you do that?
Right. So
not only why would you post it, why do you feel that way? Because that's too much anger inside, and that's not okay. So I completely disagree with the post. I disagree with a lot of posts of celebrities.
Yeah, same. And that's I think that's the bigger issue that we both agree on, right? And I think that's where it comes to PR. And I think you said it first when we were talking about Kathleen Kennedy and how she needed a PR person. Like she desperately. And I think that is the case with this, is that social media is such a horrible thing because it can single-handedly, someone tweets out, and because of passion and the way people are feeling, Rachel's going to tweet something, and it's like now you're having this discussion about it and all this, because I saw people in the chat like, oh, she's a young girl, let her say what she wants to. Sure, she should be able to. I literally started the conversation.
Yeah, you did say that.
I literally started the conversation with that, saying it is her social media. She is entitled to say whatever she wants, but you cannot be naive to the fact that the business people are going to go, oof, we need to put people in movies that people in any movie, not even political opinions. Who's likable? When you say actors, is that a likable actor?
So do you think, let me ask you this, and maybe you don't know yet, Brett, this is for you as well. Do you guys think that putting her in the movie would actually possibly cause the movie to perform worse?
So I do not have an answer for that at the moment because of two major points. The first is I don't know what the movie is, right? And I don't know what the role is. And then two, I don't know how long we're going to be. And like there's time. It heals all wounds. And I think that after a while, like in the same way, look at Cynthia Erivo, right? Month ago with those comments about the thing, oh, I'm not seeing the movie. I can't believe it. I can't believe she did that. This is horrible. She shit on the fans, and that's tracking to do gangbusters, and people are raving.
You're talking about the edit of the poster?
Yes. And she had that once, and I don't think, and go back to what you said about how you didn't think that the Rachel Zegler post was good. I didn't think what Cynthia Erivo did and what she said, I thought that was really silly.
Then she said that. She was like, oof, my bad.
Good for her. And good for her for owning up to it. But my point with that is by the time Wicked comes out, nobody's going to care. No, maybe there's a couple people that won't go because she said that. Nobody's going to care. And that movie's going to do very, very well. So, yeah. So I don't know.
To what your point, Kristian, about like liking people and wanting to spend I was always told in auditions that a big part of it is this somebody I want to spend 8 hours a day with? So if people do have some bad vibes about someone, of course, they're not going to want to cast them in things. And that also you have a right to say whatever you want online or whatever, but also everybody else has a right to disagree with what you have to say or get upset. It's not you are in a business where you are under a microscope. So
that's right.
There is if you want to use your platform to do that, you got to be willing to suffer what happens because of it.
Yeah.
It's there's plenty of actors out there that are willing to take your place immediately. I will be in with it.
I wish that you would talk more because that was brilliant.
Can you guys answer this? And yeah. I know because I'm the one woman on the panel, and then sometimes people in the comments will be nasty about it. If you feel like being nasty, I guess you can, but maybe just try not to. A legitimate question for you two. Do you guys think that if the exact same post had been posted by a man, we'd be having the exact same conversation?
No, I don't. And it also depends on who the person was, for sure. But it does depend on who it was. But most likely, no. I didn't see the post, so I don't know what
I don't have any reference for that, unfortunately.
Look at Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill gets a ton of shit for the stuff that posted that. I mean, he's very anti-Trump, and he gets a ton.
He
of
essentially posted, "I hope pain on anybody who voted,"
which is silly.
Like
which is
essentially
also,
the post.
But when I
but also he spent a lot of years being a beloved person, and
Mark Hamill.
I think people. Mark Hamill. I think a lot of people. No, Trump also. And the election was rigged anyway. So
just this one or the last one too?
All of them.
No, only the one. Yeah, I think they're all rigged, but that's another point altogether. Yeah. But yeah, Mark Hamill has been just the boy next door for his whole career, and he's kind of earned this right to get a little wild. But I don't think he does it in a super. I think people that may support Trump would still be like, I guess like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, but I guess the other point of it is that Mark Hamill's like a 70-year-old man, right? This is a 23-year-old woman who is just really starting her career, and
right. I'm not comparing her specifically to Mark Hamill.
I know you're not.
I'm just asking because I also think like I don't even mean to be standing up for her because again, I don't feel it.
I don't feel like you are. I think you're taking both sides of it. I think you were very clear in the fact that you said that you didn't agree with the post itself, but I think we're saying like the same things really.
I know. And the only thing, and I'm sad that you thought that I was laughing at you because I always value your opinion. The only thing I was laughing at was when you said like the bash, whatever it is. I was just thinking about like what some people have done that's really bashing.
Yeah.
And for this girl, what I'm picturing, and I've wrote a narrative in my head that might not be accurate, but I know for me, when I go on one show one time and somebody says something that it is not exactly how I feel, and I don't say how I feel back, my fans are in my DMs like, how could you not stand up for blank? How could you listen to this and not say blank? This is a girl who has new fame. She's 5 million times more famous than I am. And I'm just imagining that she's getting all of these constant messages. Trump fans are evil, supporters are evil. How could you not stand up more for Kamala? If you had said more, maybe she would have won the election, whatever it is.
There's a lot of
outside influence.
Sure.
And she's a baby. Like the stupid stuff that I said at that age, I try to give it grace for again, as you mentioned earlier, Kristian, both sides of the aisle. When you're young and you say something stupid, I'm like, yeah, been there.
And you think you're it's not that you're not, but you're like, I'm passionate, I can change the world, I can do this, and I have this influence, and I'm gonna make my voice heard. But as Brett said, I think really well before, is that you got to understand that when you're in this business and when you're doing it, it's that old Michael Jordan comment. It's like Republicans buy sneakers too. And it's like, you have to look at it that way. It's different if you're doing, and I've said this a million times over and I'll say it again. If you're doing smaller movies and you're making a movie where you're like, okay, look, I just want to hit, we're making a $20 million movie. This is the audience I want to hit. This is it. Boom. Then you go after him. It doesn't matter. You can say whatever the hell you want. You promote it towards that side of the aisle and exclude everybody else. And it doesn't matter because you're aiming and you're hitting at the people that you're looking for. When you're in these big studio movies and these big, huge movies where you need everyone to come see it, you have to pay attention to that stuff. You have to, whether you like it or not. Yeah, it's business. It is business, and you have to pay attention to it. Roxy, I do not talk politics on this show. I hate it. I don't think that because it's also I do a movie show.
Lose-lose. It's a lose-lose situation.
I do a movie
when you're
show.
Doing this entertainment.
We do a movie news show, and there's a lot of people, and Mike does it all the time. Rocha does it all the time. I hate it. I hate it because I don't think it has a place for itself here. And that's why I say, you want to go and you want to tweet your faces off, and you want to do that. You want people to know everything that you want to do, but you can't say, hey, how come on this video so-and-so came in and it seems like so one-sided, the people that are watching my videos, because you've basically told everybody else, I don't want you here. And they're going to go, okay, then they're going to leave. And to me, I just don't feel like that. I hate politics. I hate it. I hate both sides of it. I think they're both extreme. I don't think, and I'll tell you guys, I'm telling you this right now, this is about as politically you're going to get from me. Neither one of the people that you voted for gives a shit about you. They don't care. You think that they do. Oh no, not my person. They care. They don't give a shit. How much money they're going to be able to make in the long run is all they care about. They don't mean that you mean nothing to them. So I don't care. I want the aliens to
I think
come.
everyone knows that. I don't think anybody thinks that the politicians care about us at this
I
point.
hate both sides. It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
I feel obviously differently than you and Brett do about this.
Both sides. I hate both sides of the government, not the sides of the people.
Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah. I feel differently about you and Brett about this, which is why I have my own channel and show. You know, I don't talk politics on this show. This is your channel and your show. Unless we're directly asked, like when I was asked who I thought was going to win the election. By the way, I'm a future seer. So you guys should be paying me for my lottery numbers because clearly
it's true.
I'm the only one who predicted it. But yes, I think that I totally hear what you're saying. I think that it's valid for business people to make business decisions. I am just annoyed with society sometimes that this is that big of a deal because I don't think it is. It's when people are like, it's a pattern. It's 2 times in this woman's young life, and the only people who don't think 23 is a baby are people who are 23.
It's not 2. She's been pretty.
It's only then maybe I've missed things.
She's been pretty combative on Twitter.
I've ever seen 2 things ever.
Okay, well, she's been combative on Twitter with other things and gone back and forth with the people that don't agree with her and things. And I just think it's like I don't want to keep. We're both gonna be broken records.
Yeah, then I've missed it, but I literally have only ever seen 2 things, and I think she's very young. People who don't think she's young, you guys must be in your early 20s because at 23, I don't know anybody who's like a full-blown grown-up. I know that you're legal, but you're a kid. But
to go to the bottom line of
this. Sorry, real quick, Roxy, you agree though, like shitting on the IP of a film, you're going to be like saying that the old one that is beloved, it's the first animated film ever, I believe, was Snow White, and that's probably a bad move, right? I mean, it's
even
not
if it is a sentence, even if it is a sentence.
I said that already.
Yeah, she did.
I said,
yeah. So I don't know what are we disagreeing about then?
We're not.
I
really don't think we are.
You said I disagree with you. Oh, you disagree with us about talking politically. That's what you're
saying. Yes, I disagree that you can't talk politically on a movie show because I think movies are unbelievably political.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree that when you're talking about movies, if movies have a political theme, right, and it's relevant to the conversation, of course. There's also things. I mean, look at something like Killers of the Flower Moon. Very political stuff with everything that movie is doing in general. Things are absolutely. Star Wars is political, man. The 77, the Star Wars based off. There's always political themes involved. My point is when it comes to like one-sided stances inside of like just randomly popping things out and taking shots of what's like Coy does it a lot sometimes and Mike does it a lot sometimes, and I just don't find the place for it. I think that when you're talking about a particular movie or television show and politics. Like you've said it before, and I haven't disagreed with you. And you're like, let's say it's a different show that some show we're talking about. And you're like, the reason why I really like this show because if you combine it with everything that's going on in the world today, and this compares to that, that's politics, and I think that's relevant. It's just when things are starting to get thrown out. I mean, look, the whole thing when it came to like with the Harry Potter when we were talking about the Harry Potter series, and there's times. When if I'm asking about casting and I ask a casting thing to Mike and then Mike starts going off and shitting all over J.K. Rowling and everything too, I'm like, time and a place. If I would then say to him,
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like if I'm like, hey, Mike, well, look, this is Harry Potter and it's J.K. Rowling. What are your thoughts on her? Then he's got all right to go nuts. But if you just randomly bring it up, it's like that's the kind of shit you're asking for people to come in and start fighting with each other.
Well, you're
or
also
shitting on a. Go ahead.
Yeah,
no,
right,
I'm saying just more shitting on a politician, like saying the fans of like saying, oh, everybody that votes for Kamala are idiots. Everybody that votes for Trump are idiots.
Right.
That kind of statement is gonna kill you.
And that's what she did. But that's ultimately what she did, where she said she wishes no peace on these people. And it's like it's the same thing you say to people on both sides. It's like, look, the goal is, regardless of what you think, the goal is you want everybody in America to be together and unified. That is the goal. It's about the farthest thing from the truth right now, but you want that. You want that. And what's not going to help is furthering the flame from both people, for whoever it is, both sides saying, hey, your guy won, and because of it, you losers, you go. I hope you'll blah 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 blah. On the other side of it, you guess what? Your guy won, and I don't want you to ever have peace. I want you to sit in filth, and I want you all to be miserable. It's like that. Who's that helping on both sides? And Roxy, you already said that. You know, you agree with that also, and it's like it is literally when Luke and I were going over the main topic this morning. He sent me this topic, and before I read it, I'm like,
who's that?
Luke is from Galaxy Geeks. He's like, he is.
Oh.
It's the whole reason that this channel is doing as well as it has been lately, because Luke has been just so.
Oh, Luke, there it is.
Wonderful in helping us out. But Luke sent it to me, and he said, would you want to lead with this one? And I said, I don't know if I have the strength. You know, it's because I knew. Look, the story is they were thinking about casting her in Marvel, but I knew that the conversation would go here, and before we even started.
Well, that was the article.
Yeah, it was the article. And before everybody even started in the comments section, they were back and forth, agreeing, disagreeing with, you know, whether she should be, she shouldn't be. And if I'm Marvel, I don't want that. I don't want both sides people, because there are people who are going to love that she got cast, and then there's people going to be stomping on the floor saying, no, I don't want to see her in this. Why do you want that conversation? Even if it ultimately means nothing and everybody goes to see it. Why do you want that if you're Marvel? I would, if I'm Marvel right now, I'm not casting her, but maybe in like a year or two after it dies down, then I would.
I think a great man once said, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. We're all going to be fucking dust in the ground.
It was the best ever. Did you see that, Roxy?
No, what was that?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, I did. Oh, I did watch
interviewing. Oh, that poor girl.
Yeah, I did watch that. That was so sad when she asked, like, "What's your legacy?"
Oh.
Yeah,
legacy. I don't believe in legacy.
I never really thought of it that way. Oh, you haven't thought about being dust in the ground at your age? Oh, good.
Yeah, that was really sad.
She was so sweet. She's like, thank you so much for answering that way. I've never gotten that kind of answer before. It's like, you haven't from an absolute madman.
I am forever changed by that answer, and I will go cry after this.
I don't know what's more controversial, the us talking about like that whole thing, or the fact that like my brother last night was trying to like pick a fight with me over like the Tyson Paul stuff, and
because people thought that I only saw the headline of your thing, and then other things. Do you think that it was a staged fight or something?
Staged? No. Do I think that there were the stipulations, and do I think there were agreements for them to hold back punches? Both of them? Yes, I do. 100%. You can tell as far as combinations and everything. You can tell. Mike can still throw combinations, and he didn't. He threw one, he backed up. His knees were out, but same thing with Jake Paul. Jake Paul could have thrown a bunch of different punches at times, and he didn't. But my brother last night was saying, "Oh, these conspiracy theorists who think it was fake." And I go, and I basically gave him the points that I did, and he just kept coming. I'm like, dude, the last thing I'm doing is arguing with you about a Mike Tyson fight. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
And right before the fight, I saw like it has to go 4 rounds, and I didn't know that. Well, they announce it right ahead of time, and you're he can't knock him out in the first.
No, they didn't say that. They didn't announce that in Netflix.
No, there was a thing that I swear to God, it came up on the screen. It said has to go 4 rounds, at least 4 rounds.
What?
Check the tape. I said because I was like, oh well, then it's definitely going to go on for a while.
Are you sure there wasn't betting odds?
I don't know. It just said it had to go. He can't knock him out. If it's betting, do they do betting odds at the beginning of the fight?
Sometimes.
See if the chat if anybody saw that.
I don't remember that. I don't know anything about fights.
Yeah.
Also, Kristian, just as a side note, before I forget, I watched the entire UAP hearing, which I need to talk to you about.
We'll talk about
it. I don't know anything about fights. I don't watch them.
Yeah.
Steph is a big fan usually, but I don't usually watch. That was so boring. I'm sorry. I don't know what is that the consensus?
Yeah. It was.
Okay. I was like, huh.
It was super boring because in my opinion, they were both holding back. You had a couple, like to you, probably the first round was probably the most exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then
after it was kind of like
dancing around holding each other because they both made $20 million.
Did you watch the ones before that?
Yeah. Did you watch the girl fight, Roxy? Oh my God, that
because and then I heard everybody was pissed because they thought that the other person should win.
100%. That was that.
I didn't watch
I feel the same too. But Mike Tyson was at the UFC fights the next night, $20 million richer. So it was with his ass hanging out again. which was the best. You guys saw when his ass was hanging out, right? Did you see that?
That's what Mike Tyson won for this. He got $25 million.
Something. They both made anywhere between $15 to $20 million a piece, something like that. It was the most streamed sporting event like of all time, or something crazy like that. It was nuts. On Netflix too. The Netflix. Anyway, I don't know the numbers. We read them yesterday. I can't remember.
Regardless, that was smart. It was the smartest.
Of course, it was.
Boxing match as of late. I mean,
I said this yesterday. I said you're not paying for it. Somebody in the comment section. Oh, really? You're not paying for Netflix? I was like, you're paying for Netflix, yes, but you're not paying like pay-per-view. Normally, you do like $59.99 for like a pay-per-view thing.
Yeah,
and this is just included in the many different things that you do with your subscription. It's just included with it. So
that's why I watched.
Right. And that's why it was smart. You're not paying for it unless you.
And back in the day, people would pay that and see Tyson knock someone out in 3 seconds.
Yeah, you're paying for Netflix. You're not paying for that fight. And so, anyway, apparently the numbers came in. 108 million people watched that live. 108 million people.
You could tell by the.
I mean, I was by myself in my living room and put it on my computer because everybody was talking about it. So I was like, let me just
check
put
out.
this on.
Right, because you could, because you had it.
Yeah.
But if everybody was talking about it and it was on pay-per-view, you wouldn't have bought it.
No, absolutely not.
So that's why, why is a brilliant decision. That's why the game is going to change in sporting events, and that's why Netflix pivots very well. They pivot very well. They're going to get they're getting Monday Night Raw. They're doing football games now. And
one of my best friends is on their live event team, so I keep and like the stuff that they have planned and everything going on is just so fucking sick.
You got to get tickets.
For sure.
Roxy. So the other thing we didn't talk about yet, and we'll talk about it again after the break, is that speaking of Rocha, now you really want to beat Rocha. Rocha yesterday only 52. So you have a chance to win it for 2, and you're at 27 right now before we even got to the questions. So we'll see. Last week was insane. Who was that last week? The big one was last week was Steph and Mike last week.
It's always Thursday.
Steph has been crushing lately.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Rox, can you do Thursdays? Should we test a day of the week theory one of these weeks?
I'll tell you, I don't know if it's just Thursday. People really like that Sabra.
I mean, I'm willing to test it out.
As we all know, she is like the most likable human on the planet. I've never met anybody who said anything otherwise, so it does make sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And she's super, but it goes back to our conversation before, right? Is also that she's like, Steph is a super likable person. And she's she's very opinionated, and she will let you know when she's passionate about something. You are not gonna get a timid Steph Sabra. She's gonna tell you right away what she thinks. But she's not out there. She'll respond when she really wants to have her voice heard, and she does it very, very well. And you do too, Roxy, by the way. But we're using her as an example of someone who's just.
I hear you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it's like, so I think that for me, that adds into all of it. And I would cast Steph. They should cast Steph in a damn Marvel movie. She'd be great.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I know. There's just some way about her. Like, even though I'm not out here in these streets tweeting crazy stuff because I just don't really do that. We've talked about that for years, Kristian.
Mm-hmm.
The way that people interpret me all of the time is like, Roxy is now. This will be somebody will inevitably write this. Roxy is a stand for Rachel Zegler. She will stand up for her no matter what she does. She could kill somebody and Roxy would still love her. I don't love her. I don't know her.
Right.
I can't be clearer about my thoughts.
And you were pretty much on the same page with me with all my points. We just said things.
That's why when you were like, "Oh, I know you disagree about everything," I was like, "No, that's so not true."
You're right.
Yeah.
No, from the conversation alone, we were on the same page.
To back up your point, Roxy, I am aware that the patriarchy is alive and well, and that women do get slighted. So I mean, I'm not, yes, when you said something about if a man would have put it out, there's no. We're going backwards as far as
and I didn't say it. I asked because I honestly was curious what you guys thought.
I also think, and to stay with what I was saying before, I think it's circumstance and depending on the individual, but more likely than not, then yes, would have made a difference.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
Men are opinionated, women are bitches. Is
There you go.
in people's eyes, So
Put it
I'm
on a
sorry,
shirt.
Put it
it
on the shirt.
sucks.
Well, here we go. This is before we have so much more to talk about before we even get into the questions, and we were ready. Look, we spent like a good 48 minutes, and maybe we'll do like one more news story, and then we'll get to Roxy's TV picks. But let me tell you guys, we got some great sponsors here this week. I've told you about them many times over. You got yourself Joy Mode is back, Perfect Gene, and of course AG1. Go. AG1. I'm always excited to talk about them because you're looking for a holiday gift. You got it. Now, the perfect present is the gift of health. AG1, it checks the box. I heard about AG1 when I started doing podcasting by myself. They had said, hey, check this out. I tried it out. I loved it. And they've been with me. If you've been listening to this show for 2 years, then you have been hearing about AG1. That's how long they've been with me. I ditched everything else that I was doing. I was never a vitamins person. And now I'm just AG1. It helps your gut health. I've got better sleep because of it. It has kept me healthy. So there is something great for me what I do. And I still have had this same Zoo Cup that I've been telling you about forever. I mix it up with water, 1 scoop, done. That's my day. So this holiday season, try AG1 for yourself or even gift it to someone special. It's the perfect time to focus on supporting your body with an easy and surprising delicious daily health drink. And that's why I've been partnered with AG1 for so long. Every week of November, AG1 is going to be running a special Black Friday offer for a free gift with your first subscription, in addition to the welcome kit with the vitamin D3 and K2. So make sure you check out drinkag1.com/bigthing to see what gift you can get this week. That's drinkag1.com/bigthing and start your holiday off on a healthier note while supplies last. Well, it is cold and it's here. And guess what? I'm living in the Perfect Gene. I love the Perfect Gene. They are so great. They're stretchy. They're soft. They totally trick people, by the way, into thinking that I have my life together. And you guys know. If you're watching, I don't. Am I telling you this because I actually love them? Or because this is what they told me to say? That's right. Perfect Gene paid me to say this. Who cares? But I can honestly say that these are awesome jeans. I love them. 400,000. What's that number? That's how many men have rescued their nuts from stiff, unforgiving jeans, all thanks to the Perfect Gene. They have enough stretch to accommodate Thanksgiving dinner, and they're comfy enough to wear all day watching football. Plus, even though they feel like sweatpants, they look good enough to be your go-to pants for date night. I love them. I love the fact that I can wear them and my wife goes, whoa, you look good in those. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I look good. That's Perfect Gene. I can move around in them. They're stretchy. They feel great. I get compliments on them all the time. Stop crushing your nuts in jeans by going to theperfectgene.nyc. Our listeners will get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, free exchanges, but you got to use that code BIGTHING15 at checkout. 15% off for new customers at theperfectgene.nyc. Use that promo code BIGTHING15. You're going to purchase. They're going to ask you where you heard about them. You're going to say, from Kristian Harloff. That's right. Big Thing. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. F your khakis. Get the Perfect Gene. I love Joy Mode. I love Joy Mode. It's not about better sex. You know what it is about Joy Mode? It supports healthier blood vessels. It boosts heart health. It enhances your athletic performance. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you, about Joy Mode? Well, I'm telling you. Expertly formulated and backed by science, it is proven to improve erectile function by 50% in just 60 days. You mix it with a pack of water and you feel the effects within 45 minutes. You take control with Joy Mode. Get a boost anytime, anywhere, never miss a beat. It features 4 simple, proven ingredients. Unlike prescription options that involve doctor visits and managing refills, Joy Mode provides a straightforward, effective solution. You embrace a natural way to boost your performance without the complications and side effects of traditional medications. I've told you about Joy Mode. It is great. Right beforehand, you drink it. And I'm telling you, it's like going to the gym, you have a supplement, same thing, and it is wonderful. It's the best. If you're looking to take your game to the next level, try joymode.com, and you use the code BIGTHING at checkout for 20% off. That's right, TRYJOYMODE.com. Use that code BIGTHING for 20% off your first order. Joy Mode, get it. All right, thank you to Joy Mode. Perfect Gene, and of course, AG1. As I tell you guys each and every day, that if you're going to help out the show, that's how you do it, because you're helping out yourself. Christmas right around the corner. You should check it out. Hit those links. They're in the description. It helps tremendously. All right, you know what I was going to do? I was going to do the topic with James Gunn and DCU stuff and all that, but I can save that. I'll probably wind up doing something for myself for tomorrow for a pre-tape, because not only do I want to get the TV, those picks that Roxy has, because Roxy, you're hard out again today, right?
Yeah.
Right. So we can only talk about the UAP thing for a very, very short time, because I got to get
Okay, but I have to know what you thought.
So this is why I don't want to tell you what I thought. I want to hear from you, because you have not been caught up in this stuff in a bit, and this is actually a really good litmus test for me. And
so I have not been caught up.
Okay.
I just usually am a little behind by like a week, and then
okay.
I'm like I haven't just not listened or anything. So most of the information here, because already I learned all about the book,
Yep.
and like already a lot of this was on the table. It's not like there was a ton of new information.
Right.
But what I thought was so cool was that I actually saw some mainstream media outlets
Covering
reporting on this. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. That's crazy, because to me, the first hearing was so much more revealing than this hearing.
It was.
But this hearing made like not only just mainstream news, but I don't know if you saw this, Kristian, probably not. On TikTok, Gen Z is getting involved with UAP hearings. And there was like the number one trending thing was some version of aliens living in the water or something like that.
Good.
And I was like, okay, I do feel like for some reason the tides are turning a little bit, and this hearing is really getting to the masses more.
That's one of the main stories I'm going to actually talk about, because we're going to tape UAP Tuesday today with Attack Peter and myself. And one of the things is that the reports are that the government is starting to shift in how they're going to start presenting it, because they can't suppress the information as much as they used to.
Yeah.
And especially this hearing, I think, was a pretty good indication of that. There was not a lot of information out there. I was pretty disappointed with it overall, but a lot of people in the chat kind of talked about it, where it really was, I guess, for the normies, as they say, people who were trying to figure out what the actual information was. The fact you had a rear admiral on there, I had that rear admiral on my show.
Oh, that's so cool.
Tim Gallaudet. And I asked him on that show if he would testify, and he didn't even blink an eye and said yes, he would, and then he did. I didn't think Lou Elizondo said anything. I thought the NASA guy was worthless.
Yeah, except for the fact that it's not worthless, because to the normies, there's a guy from NASA.
Right.
So,
well, the main thing that I think that came out of that was that the Immaculate Constellation program that they talked about.
Yeah.
That full document is that they released it. They released that those 12 pages. Nancy Mace released it. That
when Mace started saying,
"Come at me, bro."
Come at me, bro. I was like, oh my God.
Come at me, and then she called the guy babe at the end. Anyway.
Oh, that was like maybe the most uncomfortable moment.
It was uncomfortable.
He's late, and she's like, no worries, babe. I was like,
so what are we doing here? Anyway, so yeah, I did. I think it was it pushed things. The question is it going to push it any further? But it got people talking. Look, and if it got the social media trends, and that stuff's important. We got younger people talking about it.
The most important question I thought that was asked was, how do we get more whistleblowers to come forward?
Yeah, and
asked and not really answered, but
no, the answer is this is so James Lukatsky. So the infamous episode that you did with us, we're breaching the hull, right? So that hull, yeah,
hull.
You're not allowed to say it.
Is it sounding better?
No. So
sounds like hull.
Yeah, it sounds like hull. And trust me, the entire comment section said that. So breaching the hull, HULL. James Lukatsky is the guy who said that. He said that we have breached the hull of the ship, and he had said that many times over. He is mentioned by Lou Elizondo. He's mentioned by various people. So it's like, how come James Lukatsky has not spoken? James Lukatsky addressed that, and he said I don't know what this hearing is really going to accomplish, because there's so many NDAs and agreements and things that you have signed, the things you just can't talk about under oath, and things you just can't do, that it's going to be very hard for whistleblowers. But the main thing for whistleblowers is that they're not protected financially. They have government jobs, they have other things, and they're not protected. And their budget for this, that's ultimately why they're doing these hearings. They want their budget to go up, because if they get their budget up, they can protect these whistleblowers. How do you protect whistleblowers? Give them a whole bunch of cash and make sure that they're okay financially, that they're not losing their benefits and they're not losing everything that they have, and that's how you get it. So, all right, let's get to these TV picks, Rox, because did you agree with what I said that this is one of the most stacked TV weeks?
I feel like you don't even know how stacked because I'm not putting some repeats on here like Yellowstone, Tulsa King, Old Man. Like there's ones that I'm not even having on my list, so I can re-talk about them in future weeks. But yes, it's definitely a stacked time for television right now because of especially two of the shows that I'm talking about that have either returned or premiered.
And that's probably the first one.
Yeah. So I don't know. Did you guys see Dune Prophecy? I'm guessing, Kristian, this is up your alley. Brett, haven't seen this yet.
Up my alley, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. So that's why I started with I don't know, because I thought that this was a good enough pilot that I'm going to continue watching the show, but it did not blow me away in the way that I was hoping that it would. I'm not sure what the because Twitter doesn't really work for me anymore. Like, it doesn't pop up the things that I want it to pop up. I went on Twitter to try to see if people liked Dune Prophecy. I couldn't figure it out how to tell if people liked it. So you guys tell me in the chat, and I'll read comments afterwards. Did you guys dig Dune Prophecy? All I have to go off of is my own opinion on it. I was watching it thinking, I don't know how much I care about this story. They specifically mentioned that they're done with the Machine Wars, and I was so intrigued by the Machine Wars, and I really wish that this was a Machine Wars show. So, but I'm going to watch. I like the characters, and that's usually enough for me to continue, and obviously it looks really pretty.
I've heard a lot of what you just said as far as like a little slower, want to see where the story ultimately takes us, but it started off as, okay, no, I haven't heard anybody say, well, two things. I haven't heard anybody say it was terrible, and I haven't heard anybody say it was amazing. I've heard.
Did you see what Rachel Zegler said about it?
What'd you say?
What'd you say, bro?
She said it was egregious.
It was egregious.
Oh.
Egregious.
And she said that, she said that that's not the way that they want to portray sand in the next one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not your grandpa's sand.
No, and worms wouldn't be looked upon that way. Worms have changed. All right. So next one after that.
Cobra Kai came back. Yeah. I would watch if this show was on for 50 seasons. I would watch for 50 seasons.
Okay.
They always find a way to keep it fresh and
binge
fun.
it?
What'd you say?
Did you binge it?
No, I watched because they only dropped this part. I had already seen the other part, obviously. Yeah. So I'm 2 or 3 in right now.
Okay. Out of what, 6?
Yes. Are you caught up?
I'm not caught up, but I watched the first half. I haven't seen any of this yet.
I won't spoil it then for you, but I really like what I'm seeing. That I was really nervous about what they were going to be doing with Tori. I really like what they decided to kind of do with Tori in this one. Mm-hmm. And she's my favorite character. So that's pulling really strong for me right now. I love Cobra Kai, and like sometimes they hit the same beats, and I don't care because I love Cobra Kai.
Yeah, it's just a fun kind of cotton candy show. This
I'm excited. Such a fun watch.
Yeah, I'm curious to watch the next one. I like the first half of the season. Okay, what's this old?
So there's the finale of the Golden Bachelorette. Is Sadie watching this?
No.
Oh my God, missing out. Golden Bachelorette was amazing. She found the second love of her life. I really hope it works out for them. Anybody who was watching this show could tell that it was gonna be who she picked. Spoilers, it was gonna be Chalk. They seemed like a great couple. I am really curious how the living arrangements work out because it's hard when you get to be that age and then one of you guys has to move. Mm-hmm. Like you're gonna pick up your whole life. Obviously didn't work out with the Golden Bachelor. So, but hopefully this works. I love Joan. Right. Oh, love her. Ali Wong's special came out in October. Usually I'm on top of Ali Wong's stuff because I love her, but I hadn't seen it yet. I finally just watched it. It is my favorite stand-up special of the year so far.
Okay. All right. Next one.
I love because no, I'm still on this. I can't. I have to tell. I said no. Here's why. Ali Wong put out a special when she was married and pregnant, and she was shredding her hubby.
I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yes.
And I'm not super into that.
Yeah.
I love Ali Wong, but like, I don't love when comedians just use.
Yeah, you said that. You said that last time. I remember that. Yeah.
To shred people, it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, sure.
But it was funny. It was definitely funny. Mm-hmm. I think it's funny when you like make one little jab at your spouse not when you have a special jabbing at them.
Okay.
It was very clear to people that she didn't want to be in this relationship. Spoiler alert, they got divorced
Yeah,
after
it makes
that.
sense. Okay, so right, so she's
and-
used therapy.
So this is called Single Lady, and
Okay.
this is about prior to being with Bill Hader, after
she's
being
dating
divorced.
she's dating him now?
Oh, she's been dating Bill Hader.
Pay attention to that
Like
stuff.
literally reached out to her and was like, "I'm in love with you, so whenever you're ready."
Wow.
When she got divorced, and she tells a little bit about the story in this. But this is the time between her divorce and being with Bill Hader, all of her sexcapades,
Yeah.
and it's just so much more fun because like you do you're a divorce queen. Just tell us about all the stories, and they're hysterical and
All right.
just unbelievable. So fun.
All right, last one here.
And she's not pregnant, I'm assuming.
Not
which
anymore, no.
She was in all the other ones, right?
Yeah, and oh well, I don't know. Maybe she's just not showing. We don't know, Brett.
How about this one?
Really?
How about this? How about the
Hater.
last? How about the
Okay.
last one?
About this
Silo
piece of
season-
trash.
Silo season 2. Kristian, you watch it yet or no?
I haven't seen Silo season 1.
What?
I know.
Wait, but this show is so up your alley.
Everybody says that. I know. I need to see it.
But I'm not everybody.
I
I'm the
know.
TV girl,
And
Rocha.
the reason why I am even considering it is because of you. But I haven't, and Rebecca Ferguson. But
Yeah, she is a good selling point.
yeah, she's a good song.
I have to tell you something about this.
Uh-oh.
Silo season 1, absolutely amazing. Silo season 2, episode 1 dropped. Steph and I talked about this last night on the World Girls. I'm so baffled. Steph thought that this episode was absolutely amazing. Here is my honest take, and now I've watched it twice. Because after she said it, I went and watched it last night. I feel like an old geezer. I couldn't fucking see it. I could not see it. It was so dark. I could not tell what was
really?
happening
Okay.
on the goddamn screen.
Ow.
I don't know. She was like, what? I could see the whole thing. I watched it on my television and I watched it on my phone because she was like, maybe your TV, something's off. So I then watched it on my phone last night. I can't see the episode.
Oh.
There's half of the episode is in the pitch black and I couldn't see what was going on. I could just hear. From what I heard, it sounded really good, but there was legitimately huge moments that I miss because I can't see it. What is up with this? Was like,
What's the
darker than Game
deal
of
with the
Thrones.
dark television? I mean, come on. Turn it up, turn it down. What is the deal?
I feel like something's wrong with me because
What is
she
wrong
was,
with Roxy?
she was like, I saw the entire thing. And I was like, oh, what do you have? X-ray vision?
Maybe it's your
Night-
television.
night-
Not at your place, right?
No, she saw it
She
at
saw
her
it-
place.
At her place. It's probably your
Yeah,
television.
yeah.
It's your television, Roxy.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
watched it on my phone afterwards.
Oh, same thing. I don't know. What
Same thing. I couldn't see it. I turned the brightness all the way up. I could not see it. I felt like a crazy person. I literally, at one point, it's so pitch black that I was like, did the TV turn off? And then I heard sound and I was like, what is happening here?
I'll have to watch.
So then
and
there's
find
these
out. Oh, here
there's
we go.
flashback scenes and those were in the light. And I was like, please stay in the flashback place.
And what
So
happened?
I'm annoyed and I'm praying that episode 2 is brighter because I couldn't see what was happening.
Well, I'm excited to check it out anyway because it's
It's
does,
the greatest show.
does
It's
seem
the
like a
best
show.
show.
I'm excited
What
to
the
see it.
hell?
I'm excited to see it. Because I am almost done. I'm gonna have an immediate reaction once I finish the episode last. It was just or the movie last night. I'm watching that Lord of the Rings, War of Rohirrim, the new animated one that comes out. It's a movie.
How is it?
Awesome. It is.
I just did Lord of the Rings for
First time
Real
watching.
Reject.
So it's so
Christian.
great. Yeah, it's so great. It's great. So,
Who knew?
Yeah, well, everybody. So anyway, I'm watching that movie, and it's probably next to the.
Oh, it's a movie?
It's an animated movie, and
I thought it was
Peter
a show.
Jackson is producing it, and you can tell because right now I got to see how it ends. It's the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I don't know how I would probably. I don't know if I would. They're all so good. Maybe return. Did you watch? Are you watching extended versions or did you watch regular versions?
No, Greg has to do the theatrical.
Oh, bad move on Greg. Bad move on Greg.
We had said we would do extended, but he said
Should've.
theatrical.
Bad move on Greg. Only because it's 4 hours. Probably you just figure not, but each one's 4 hours. But those are the best. You got to watch those. Anyway, let's get to these questions because you always run away and we don't have time to finish. So let's see what we can get here. We're gonna start all the way at the top here, ladies and gentlemen. And we start with the first question of the day. We are currently at 41 questions.
Well, that's good.
Trying to get to 52 to beat Rocha.
No, we're not trying to get to 52.
You're trying to beat at least the first goal is 52 and trying to get Roxy to at least 100 because she still has
Yeah.
not won. She's the only person that hasn't won. Jedi Master
Yeah.
for life. Roxy, will you be watching Interior Chinatown? You know what that is? It's not.
Interior Chinatown.
I don't know what it is.
Let me look.
Look it up.
But he's talking about it.
Not sure. Pete Parker, 2288. Hey, Kristian, have you raised the $50,000 yet for the Schmodown tour? No. Rocha yesterday was talking about doing a Schmodown event for bringing back all the people to do one, and I said it would at a minimum 50,000 is what I would need in order to make that happen, because of I want to do it. I want to do it for real, right? You want to get like a good venue. You want to fly people out. You want to do it, and you want to do it for real. And I wouldn't want to charge the fans. It would be first come, first serve. So you probably need like 50,000 to make that work.
Yeah. This is Taika Waititi's new show. I watch every show he does, or at least I try it. So I will. And it's also starring Chloe Bennett, who I haven't seen in a minute. So
okay. Jedi Master for life. Might I recommend a Lil Ray's 100 milligram shot battle, or a nice Via gummy, Via KH promo code?
Oh.
Yes, please. They're not even on the show today, but well, actually, you're going to use the code today. Use the Via code for /DTE. Use that one.
Oh my God, Chris Pang is in this show. He's so hot.
Oh, all right. Jedi Master for life. Before watching the first episode, if you haven't already, directed by Taika Waititi. It's a fun ride. Well, there you go. And then Jedi Master for life. Coming in hot today, Jedi Master for life. When do we start the Schmodown Revival Fund for Rocha? This wouldn't be a bit where Rocha's trying to come back as the final outlaw and challenge Dwayne the Final Boss Johnson to a Schmodown match. Now, I mean, look, like I said, it's the Schmodown. The Schmodown. Like, I would love to write a book about it. It's like, I would love for people to guess. I'm not going to confirm it, but I'd love for people to guess what they thought. We had a budget at the end of the year of what it was per year that was hard, and we were struggling with for a year. I want to see what people think.
You think people would think it's more or
less?
less?
Think it's so much less than what it was to run, and what we had was not. We could not run it on that. We pitched it for a much bigger budget, which we thought we were going to get, and we didn't get, because that would have been promotions on buses and things, and we would have made it total, like, gone big with it. And that's what we thought we were going to get, but we didn't. We ultimately just got the budget that we had and then couldn't do anything with it. So for one event alone, we would need something, and I don't have the mental capacity to run that show anymore. I just don't.
It's not true at all, Kristian. It's not that you don't have the mental capacity. I don't think you. It's not what you want to do right now.
Well, that's what I mean. That's kind of.
You have the mental capacity
right now. I mean, for everything that comes with that show, I don't. I really don't, because I just don't have what it takes to run that show right now. When I was 10 years younger, and the amount of, I was talking about this yesterday, is that if I had a shit ton of money and I was paying people thousands of dollars per match, then I could go into the room and say, hey, I don't care what you feel about this. You're getting paid $5,000 a match. Be quiet, stay off social media, do this, play the match, study, and stop whining about it. But when you're paying somebody a couple $100, they have every right to say, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. It's like, and there's nothing I could do. I always wanted to pay people more, but I couldn't, because I didn't have enough money. Jedi,
but what if you could do it again and people had more opinions?
Yeah.
That's better.
Monetarily, it wasn't right for competitors, and monetarily it wasn't right for me. Like, for what I was making for that show, that it was the only time that I could probably say, over the last, I think it was in 2021. It was during the pandemic thing, so a lot of people are going through this too. It's the only time I would probably say that I was depressed. I'm not somebody that would say that I don't find myself getting depressed. I just don't. I don't. I mean, there's tons of people that I know that suffer from depression. I don't. That was a time that I was in. I was probably in my worst state ever, running that show towards the end of it, and I knew I needed to get out. So so running that again, I don't know if I have the capacity to do it.
You think because of it?
That point of it, yeah, it was you get to a place, whether it was valid or not, from the people you're working with, feel like it's like.
What do you mean whether it's valid or not, Kristian?
No, some of the concerns that I had, whether they're valid or not, whether you feel like if you feel, like anybody else, if you feel underappreciated, if you feel like people just have their hand out, if you feel that people just only want something for you at the moment, if you feel it's like it comes with the territory, right? But there's other things, and then the thing I did that I tell everybody to do is stay away from comments, and like Reddit alone sent me into a place that I was like I had never gotten to that low before. And I was like, I thought these are the people I was making this show for, and they like fucking hate my guts. And I'm like, forget this. I'm done.
A feeling can't not be valid, Kristian.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, it just wasn't worth it.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
But it was because of that feeling, and this is what I tell people all the time. And I think I said this to you, Roxy, because I don't feel like I'm talking out of turn here when we talked about BetterHelp and that conversation, all that stuff. You were in that spot, and I said, look, whatever spot that you're in right now, you can and will turn that into something better. Now that's easier said than done. And it's so easy for somebody to say that, and you don't really know it until it happens. But like, had all that shit happen, not happen with everything I just talked about, it wouldn't have put me in a spot to say, I can't do this anymore. I've got to find something that makes me happy. And I was like Tony Stark in the freaking cave in Iron Man 1, building out this channel and doing that. And to this day, and I said it when I started, it's the most happy I've ever been doing it, because I do the shows the way that I've always wanted to do them. I talk to people that I want to talk to, organize the channel the way that I want to organize it. I'm running 3 different channels now. I'm busier than I was maybe even with Schmodown, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it because I'm doing stuff that I'm happy doing.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, I think that 100%, like that's what they say. The only way out is through. But it's also really important to listen to yourself because you could have just double, triple, quadrupled down.
Yeah.
And then you wouldn't have been feeling better.
That's right. I had.
Go ahead, Brett. I know we're not supposed to look at the chat, but we just lost 100 people watching for some reason. I don't know if. It was because Roxy put on something else.
I thought you were making a joke about Kristian deciding to open up about his mental health being why people left the chat, and I was like,
no,
relax, bro. But you were making.
It's Roxy put on a cardigan.
Yes. Jedi Master for life. I apologize, Kristian, for the crazy talk. It's the Via gummy. That's fine. Yeah, you have to. The Via. I'm telling you what, Via last night. I know, not even a sponsor today. I don't care. I got home and I was just in one of those. I was just in work. It was a long day, so I got home because I did my Incredible Hulk reaction with Sam, and I didn't get home until like 9:00. So I get back home and I'm just. Oof, I had my wife had made these burgers for the kids and for herself, but I got home and she had made these burgers. They were delicious, but I put a little barbecue sauce on them. I made this, it looked like a restaurant style burger, but I was like, you know what? I went and I got my one hitter and I went and I had some Via, and oh my God, Via is no joke. So wonderful. And I woke up this morning just like bouncing around. It's amazing. Ewok, is it likely at this point that most actors who are rumored for the MCU are being eyed for X-Men? Because the rest of the MCU roster seems pretty full. What do you think, Rox?
I still just am not totally sure what they're doing with Doomsday and the 2 Avengers movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would think so. I would think most things are X-Men related.
You would have seen, yeah, because, well, I mean, depending on what's coming out after those movies, it maybe some TV shows and stuff too, but most likely, yeah, I would probably agree that it is X-Men. Ewok, and like everyone else, I feel that cinema will not be complete until Tom Hardy, Logan Marshall Green, and Cosmo Jarvis play brothers in a movie. They do look like it's same cloth.
And I have never thought about that before, but I totally agree now.
Sure. RQMD SMD. Hey, Roxy, what 3 movie musicals would you like to have a lead role in? Oh, good question.
First, I have to be able to sing.
Oh. Yeah.
So that kind of takes me out. Oh my God. In 40 minutes, I can talk about Wicked the way that I cannot even describe how excited I am to talk about that movie.
Tomorrow. I'm going to see it tomorrow.
The movies that I would want, he said, what would I want to roll in?
Yeah, which 3 musicals if
my favorite musical of all time is The Last 5 Years.
Okay.
So that one, right now I'm all about Wicked, and if I could sing, I would make a hell of a Glinda.
Oh, nice.
And then but I can't. So that's a big problem with that. But I think the only thing that I really can sing is kind of like a more rocker voice. So if they did some kind of like a new, the way they do with Green Day, that kind of like maybe like a Joan Jett version of that. I'm making up a musical that doesn't exist. My other favorite
Rent.
musical is Rent. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
That one they wanted very rock and roll style people, and I made it to the second round
Yeah,
of
but Brett,
auditions.
but here's the thing. They didn't ask you. Okay,
Mm.
Dennis Hoffman. Kristian, how are you feeling on Skeleton Crew? I just saw the list of directors. Pretty incredible group. It is a good group for sure. I'd been down on Star Wars, but maybe everything is awesome. LOL. So
What makes it a good group? I didn't see this.
It's the directors, I think, from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Bryce Dallas Howard. There's quite a few really good directors. I mean,
Cool.
John Watts, who I like.
Oh.
I didn't love the trailers, not because I think that the series is portraying the tone of exactly what I believe the series will be. And that is, hey, we loved these kind of Spielberg, Amblin Entertainment, Goonies, Zemeckis kind of movies when we were younger, and that's what we want to do. And I feel like that it captures that tone. It could be in any galaxy. It feels like, well, there's a Jedi in it. Okay, I guess it's Star Wars. It from the trailer, I didn't get that kind of magic that I feel that I haven't felt from Star Wars in a bit, but that type of thing. I could change that immediately when I watched the show. It could feel like, holy crap, that did feel like it took place there. But do I think it's going to be a good show? I do feel like it's going to be a good show because you got a lot of great people involved in it. And John Watts, who directed the first episode of The Old Man and was producer of The Old Man, like he's good and he's very locked into this. So, Roxy, are you excited for this series?
Yeah, but also I'm ready to not agree with the rest of the public on the series because you know how I view Star
You're
Wars.
a casual fan, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very likely I'll like it.
Okay. Brett, have you seen this trailer yet?
No, but I'll have to see what Rocha thinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roman Fedorak. Hey, all. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Awesome Tuesday. Thank you, Roman. Been rewatching Shrinking Man, Harrison Ford's Bad Trip. Does he need some Via? I don't know. Shrinking Man. Oh, Shrinking. Not Shrinking Man.
Oh.
I read that wrong. That was on me. Hey, all. Hope you're
I
having
was just literally, as you're reading, I was like, it's so weird that he's also in a show.
Shrinking.
Harrison Ford and also Shrinking.
I did it wrong. Hey, all. Hope you're having an awesome Tuesday. Been rewatching Shrinking. Man, Harrison Ford's Bad Trip. Does he need some Via? The Bad Trip was awesome episode. That's my favorite. It's my favorite line. I talk about it all the time. Anybody want some pancakes? Fuck yeah, I'll have some pancakes. You've seen the series, right, Brett?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Not caught up on the latest ones, but
Brett.
Me too.
So
I'm not either.
good.
I need to catch up on that. I need to catch up on Tulsa King. You know why I want to catch up on Tulsa King? Because I'm trying to get Frank Grillo back on the show, Rox.
Love.
So, you know what's so funny about that? So, when we watched Warrior, Sam and I said, I remember I interviewed Frank Grillo. I'm like, but I'm so bummed because I never talked to him about Warrior, right? And then I looked. We 100% talked to him about Warrior. I looked at the clips and we absolutely talked to him about Warrior. Do you remember? I went back and I watched him in that interview. Do you remember anything from that interview at all?
No.
So when he was on, I forget what he was promoting, but either way, we were talking for a bit. It was a great conversation. He's a really great guy. But I was reading. It was right.
It wasn't Animal Kingdom?
I don't think so. And it wasn't.
Oh.
You're talking about. And the other one that he had was not Animal Kingdom. Kingdom was the show.
Kingdom.
Yeah, which no, it wasn't Kingdom. But I just started watching that show, and that show's awesome. But no, what happened was that was right when I didn't wear these, and my eyes were starting to go back then. That was right when my eyes started to go, and I had his synopsis of the thing that he was promoting, and I tried to read it, and it was a disaster. Ooh. And you and Dorina and him all gave me shit about it.
No way.
Yeah, and rightfully so. It was a disaster. And he's like, what were you reading? He's like, what? He asked me if I had a stroke or something. It was hilarious.
Oh my God.
It was hilarious. It was hilarious.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's so good in Tulsa King. He fits right in.
I want to see
right
it.
in.
Yeah. He's buddies with Matt Serra also. Carlos Sosa. I'm going to the Gladiator 2 screening today. Excited. Man, I hope you like it because it seems like it's getting kind of mixed even from fans. I don't know if you saw this, Roxy, and I think you ignored it. Did you see the little Twitter exchange of someone who was trying to get a response from you about Gladiator? Maybe because you don't check Twitter anymore, but somebody, someone Twitter is like, how dare you lie to your fans? I just saw this movie. It included me, tagged me, and this Twitter on there, the show Twitter on there with you. It said, how dare you lie to people about this movie? I saw it was terrible, blah, blah. And I wrote back and I said, I'm so sorry you didn't like it. I'm like, I enjoyed it, but hey, I'm sorry you didn't like it. And then, yeah, didn't like it. I hated it. Blah, blah, blah. It's going. I'm like, hey, listen, different opinions. She's like, why are you answering me, idiot? I'm trying to talk to Roxy. Not
She
you.
tagged you?
Something. Is it she? I think it was she. And
They tagged you, and then that's why you were.
And then I wrote back and I said, hey, look, I understand, but I have a good discount.
They're gonna find this.
Yeah, I said I have a good discount on some vitamins if you want them. And
Oh my God.
And then he wrote back. They said, this is the last response. I'm talking to you, idiot. And I wrote back. I go, I guess you don't want the vitamins.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Mike
You can
Joyce.
find it.
Kristian, would you recommend Here to Roxy? I didn't see it. Kelly Riley was great in that. I don't know what Rocha's talking about. Maybe he doesn't like Brits and Westerns. He just thinks she's putting on tough and isn't tough. But I
don't know how to navigate Twitter anymore. I can't find this exchange.
I'll show it to you. It's
oh, I got it. I got it.
it?
Oh, you changed your picture. I like this picture of you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Brett took that picture.
Yo, Roxy, as a fan of yours for almost a decade, you have to explain to me how you watched the nonsense of a movie, Gladiator 2, and you loved it. You said Denzel was miscast. That's not what I said. That the movie was awesome. Paul Mescal was great. Did you hit your head on the ground recently?
It's really good.
Wow.
It's really good. But listen, keep going. Keep going.
People don't understand the word opinion.
Now, read the exchange.
Kristian said, sorry you didn't enjoy. And it does look like it's a she. He said back, enjoy, laugh my ass off. I have a dissertation on how bad that movie was. You said, sucks, man. Sorry. She said, hey, idiot. I'm not talking to you. Stop trying to act like Roxy.
To which I responded,
Roxy, if you're seeing this, you need to explain to your fans how you enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
He said, amazing. Need a discount on vitamins? She said, you're an idiot. That's my last reply to you. And you said, so no vitamins.
I had a real fun time with that one. I was
What I said
upset.
was I felt like Denzel was in a different movie doing a great thing in a different
matter.
movie, but
Armada,
whatever.
I'm 2 episodes in on Cross.
This
and I
person
love it.
doesn't follow me, by the way, so not a fan.
The person's whole feed was just shitting on Gladiator 2. I was like, that's your whole purpose in life. Armada, I'm 2 episodes in on Cross and loving it. Did you watch Cross yet, Roxy?
No, Steph just told me about this last night.
Oh, okay.
And I hear that
That
it's really good.
Yeah. It's supposed to be really good. Artem, Rocha thinks that he is better than everyone else. Wow. What else is new in the world? Hey, Artem, come on.
I disagree with that. Also Rocha's a showman too, as we all
100%.
need to be.
He knows how to promote. He knows how to promote.
I don't mind a single thing he said about me. Do I think it's a twat take? Yes,
Right.
but of course, go on.
You guys are tied, by the way, right now at 53.
Good.
So you can at least beat Rocha today with a couple.
That will
Keep on
change.
moving, peeps.
All right. So next one, and that one was from, of course, Artem. And next one after that comes in from our good friend. That's what I did yesterday when I'm trying to go through the chat. There it is. Fabricio wrote us. I'm with Roxy on the Rachel Zegler stuff. Love everyone on the show. Peace and love. But that's what I don't understand. You're with Roxy on the Rachel Zegler stuff, but didn't we all say the same thing?
I think maybe not with you guys, but maybe it was with me that it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Because the bullet points are, you agree, Roxy, that it is a business and the people making the business have to be aware of what a potential person being cast is saying on Twitter.
Yes, and you guys agree that society is being a little tough right now on her.
Everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, but on her, definitely, yes. Darth Vader's burnt asshole. Zegler is no more of a controversial choice than most of the MCU casts who are openly one-sided politically. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think that is maybe not very true. I don't think. But
I hear them Letitia Wright and Evangeline Lilly. I mean, there's been some really political stuff.
And Chris Evans pretty vocal too. He's pretty vocal.
Yeah, for sure. who's the other one that I'm thinking of right now that's been really vocal? I mean, Gunn himself has been unbelievably
Has he?
vocal. So,
Okay.
well, Gunn lost his job for some of the things that he said that people didn't like, and then since then has been like very vocal.
Well, no, that's not why. That's not why he lost his job.
Well,
For the Twitter
I'm just
first time it's because of some inappropriate jokes.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, you're talking about jokes. He's talking about
social media.
Yeah. He's talking more so political opinions, I think.
Oh, he just said vocal, so I just
yeah.
And I thought when Gunn lost his job, that was effing ridiculous. And I thought when Kevin Hart lost his job, that wasn't good.
The Oscar thing, right? Matt Sinister McCall, defund the Cobra Kai police department. They're incompetent. It's probably true because
it is so true, so incompetent.
Yeah, so true. Artem follows up. It says Snow White results will show if all that matters. Yeah, but that would go more so.
How would you decide that that's what it was showing?
Well, but they're gonna sum it up. They're gonna put it as one of the things, right? If it doesn't perform, the question there's gonna be, as people always do, they analyze why it didn't work. This is what I was talking about though in the beginning, is that when it's X-Men with her and a bunch of other people, and not on her shoulders. This movie, Snow White, is on her shoulders. So
I can't lie to you guys, and maybe I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I can't picture this movie not doing well. Snow White.
Yeah, I mean, you look here's
the
reason why I'm not going to push back on that is because the same reason I always talk about we're in a movie bubble, right? I'm not going to tell you that I think there's a lot of people out. The only reason that maybe there are more people aware of this situation, because I was going to say maybe it's not like the mainstream media, maybe they don't know, the mainstream audience maybe doesn't know about it as much. The only reason why I said that they could is because this thing got politicized really fast on on both. Where it was, I remember like Fox News was covering it and there was posts all over the place that they were pushing this thing out and putting her out there. So maybe it could. I don't know. I don't think
my sister knows who this person is.
Okay.
I don't think she knows who Rachel Zegler is.
Send her a text. I'm
going to right now.
My guess is she's going to say, no, I'm not aware of that. And it's like,
I'm just first going to ask, do you know who Rachel Zegler is?
Okay. Yeah, do that. And then if she does know who she is, then see if she is aware of any of the Snow White's controversy. And I'm going to say this. I'll say, yes, she knows who she is, but no, she's not aware of the controversy. That's what I would say.
Okay.
All right. Next one. And I would like to thank everybody who's put 57 right now. Shay Markel. Woo! I don't hate her because it's not that deep to me. The problem with Ziegler's type of discourse is that it likens those that disagree with her to human garbage. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's perceived. It might not be her intent, but it is perceived that way, and that comes.
No, I think that was her intent.
Yeah, maybe for this particular.
I think that was maybe the problem.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right for that particular post, and that's and I think he's right. I think that's what's the cat think about it?
She said meow.
Oh, good. Shay Markel also says this is a very complex topic, and I admire you guys for the respectful discourse. Roxy, I agree. Her being a woman does add to the rage towards her comment. I don't think it helps, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that it's the only reason, but I definitely think.
I think certainly in that particular situation, I think so. I don't think it's the only reason.
Sky said to me, "Do you mean do I know this person personally, or is this a celebrity?"
Perfect.
So,
okay, so we know the answer to that. So she's definitely not going to know the controversy. Jim 1. If Disney keeps working with Zegler, could this lead to them being accused of double standards in regards to Gina Carano and actually help her lawsuit? Well, it depends, right? Because I mean, look, the problem with is the biggest problem with Carano is that she was asked to stop a bunch of different times and didn't, right? Like, and then was Rachel,
and what was her morality clause? Has that been publicized?
I don't know. And what was Rachel Zegler's? And was Rachel Zegler asked to stop? Because if she was also asked to stop and approached by Disney, and because it very well could be a similar situation, if Disney went and said, "We need you to stop. We need you to stop doing this. Please stop tweeting. Please stop getting so involved," and she did it again, then there's no difference. I really don't think there's a difference. But if she wasn't asked to stop, now the question would be the double standards. Why didn't you ask her to stop? It's a different conversation. But I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question because
My sister just said she checked her Instagram following, and this person is not somebody she follows or is following.
It's hilarious. But what do you? I mean, so would you agree with that though, Rox? That it depends on what the situation is behind the scenes.
I think it depends on your contract.
Right.
That's what it comes down to, right? Like I'm doing something right now for a studio, and there's a big morality clause that literally says in it, if I break XYZ, I don't get paid. All of my contracts that I sign have a morality clause. Yeah. So that's a business that puts that in, that's allowed to do that. And if you signed what they laid out and then you didn't do what they laid out, then they're allowed to fire you.
But is that ultimately the question that starts to get a little murky, right? Because it's like, if the company you work for has the same political point of view that you do they then say, well, we don't find that to be hitting that cause, even though you say to people, we wish you that you wouldn't be living in peace. We kind of agree with your stance, so we're not going to press you as much.
I guess it depends on how specific the morality clause is.
Right. So it depends on how specific. So it's not an easy answer, is the answer to that question.
Disney notoriously has very thick.
Yeah, I know, but it goes to. But you see what I'm saying, though, Brett? It's like, what do they think is okay, though? If they're like, hey,
what's okay to them?
What's okay to them? And it's like, well, she can say that because we feel the same way. That's not right. But the question is,
like, Walt was a Nazi sympathizer, so are we. Like.
So Ian
that's
Davis,
the rumor.
Ian Davis. I have a solution to the Roxy Rocha debate: a Schmoes No style TV showdown or a live Netflix boxing match. Well, there you go. Either one of those, I don't think Roxy would fare well because Roxy's not great at trivia and Rocha is stronger. I think. No.
At what?
Fighting.
Boxing.
No, I'm very strong.
You are strong, but I mean, Rocha's pretty strong.
Why is the white balance so off, guys?
I don't know, but let's worry about that maybe before the show next time. Artem Shakranyan. I am glad that Cobra Kai season 6 is the last one. They're doing too much at this point. I'm a big fan, but it's time to end this. Yeah,
nope. If it went 80 years, I'd watch.
No, but I think it's going to lead into the movie. I think it'll lead into the movie, and that'll be.
Yeah, I understand that people who liked season 1 don't like it anymore because it is different. But this is what I signed up for. Like, show me the craziness.
Yeah, that's fine. It's you have to, once you get past season 1, you realize that it's not like they just went from season 1 and stayed the same tone and then just ultimately went. It got more batshit crazy every season. Jim 1. I think Zegler being cast in West Side Story while in high school led to her coming across as entitled. She didn't spend years waiting tables to get roles. I mean, I think that there's a merit to people who look. There's certain ways that you can look at it. I'm sure for some actors, and I don't necessarily know if this is the case with Rachel Zegler, but I think some actors who don't have to go through that struggle, and it happens. They just come out to wherever they are, and they get the role. They don't have to do the auditions. They get discovered, and boom, they're off to the races. Look, Renzi Felice said he wasn't even acting. He moved to Los Angeles because his family wanted to move to Los Angeles. He moves to Los Angeles, and then he's like, "Oh, I really want to act," and he starts acting. I think a month later, he got the Runaways or something, and it's like. That doesn't happen, but I don't know if I've ever met a more level-headed person than that kid. I mean,
but I will argue that that's why I think he looks at acting as a competition, which is like, to me, a not great way to look at it, even though I liked him.
Yeah, and it's funny though, because when he said that, and he said it in the
he was like, people don't like this, and I was like, yeah, I think that's like a brutal way to look at it.
And which is funny because I guess it's me. That's why I guess I never continue doing the acting because I would feel the same way. It is in a certain way a competition, but it is also he understood both points. Anyway, I highly recommend people go and check out the conversation with him.
It was awesome.
One of my favorite conversations.
I think that if you feel that way about Rachel, though, then you feel that way about Lily Rose Depp, and you feel that way about Emma Roberts, and you feel that way about a lot of people. I'm not saying that Rachel's a Nepo baby. I'm just saying that a lot of people in life are given something a little easier. Rachel booked it purely off of talent, which is different than
Right.
some other people. But I completely agree. I don't think anybody, any Disney star, any Nickelodeon star, when you have something when you're young, I do not think you can possibly have the same appreciation that somebody who has spent decades working towards something has. It's a different type of appreciation.
Big Bulls says, is Roxy watching What We Do in the Shadows?
I have to tell you guys, I watched season 1 of that show, and it's my least favorite of Taika's shows, which I know is a cardinal sin to people.
Yeah, Brett loves it.
Both Dorina and Steph are obsessed with What We Do in the Shadows, so it came up on World Girls all the time. My friends love that show. I thought it was fine.
Okay.
It's like kind of goofy for me. I don't know. I never laughed out loud. The jokes weren't landing for me. I didn't think it was a bad show, but I didn't keep watching it.
Brett loves it.
I like the pirate show better.
Okay. And then Shay Markel says, I love Mike's authenticity with that kid. What are we talking about?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, yes.
Tyson.
Yes.
I was like, Mike Kalinowski.
That's what I was thinking Mike also. Yeah, it was, he forgot who he was talking to. Brian Kalmus, you think WWE is nervous after bad Netflix stream? No, because there's no world where Monday Night Raw is doing the amount of streams that fight did. And that they weren't, I don't even think they were ready. They didn't even know that kind of number was possible. And that number is what shut down the stream. They're prepared for the type of views that WWE and especially now after they said whatever happened there, how do we fix that? They'll fix it. So I don't think WWE's nervous at all. Okay, so the next one after that. So far we have 58 guys. You guys are approaching 60 right now.
You don't ever have to be nervous when it's in a studio's best interest to do something right, that they'll do it right. Like Netflix needs to do this.
Right.
It's not like they're doing it for WWE fixing it.
Exactly.
They need to fix it
for
because
themselves. They have a deal with them. Nerds Engage. He's not only a member for a month, he gifted a whole bunch of memberships to people. And what a month to do it. I just put out the full unedited reaction for Warrior that Sam and I did. We have Q&As. We did a live stream. We do exclusive live streams where we bring members onto the stream with me. And we have a full on conversation. I was on with yesterday. It was First Nate Rate. I always say it. First Rate Nate, and and Wicked Art. We had a whole conversation with people in the chat room. So thank you, Nerds Engage. You did that. How would you feel about a blind election? You don't meet or see them till after your vote. You're only going off policies, not color, gender. I mean,
love it.
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting.
It didn't make it better.
But
I did say I kind of feel like people should have to announce their cabinet before they run. That's the change that I would make. I don't think it needs to be blind, because I also like to see the way people speak.
Right,
like it makes a difference. But I think you should announce your cabinet before. Wow, I made that so much worse. It's egregious.
It's true. Looks like you're getting ready for the dance. Jim 1. Zegler has put herself in a situation where if Snow White flops, the Disney execs behind the movie may lay the blame solely on her to save their own skin. Well, I don't think that's what Roxy was saying beforehand, too. I don't think that you'll ever be able to say, you can never point your finger at one thing. Like you can't, if the movie's not good, if the movie's really, really good, if it's a solid movie, and people are like, okay, this is just a phenomenal film. Why isn't it doing well? Then you can go, well, people just didn't want to support her, right? If it's not a good movie, that's not necessarily her fault. If the performance is really good, and it could be the director, it could be the editing, it could be any
and the marketing team too. They could 100%. Do a bad job with trailers, posters.
Right. So we have to see what happens with that movie. I'm very, very curious to see how that movie does. Oh, good. Captain Penis is here.
Good. I was worried.
Good. I love Roxy and Brett Day. Thank you, Captain Penis.
Me too.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Captain Penis is always in here to give some words of wisdom. Pete Parker, 2288. What's Brett's favorite UAP sighting? Oh, Brett, come on. What's your favorite out of all the ones?
Oh, man. Bigfoot.
When Bigfoot was flying the UAP?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, isn't Bigfoot on what's the UAP stand for now?
An unidentified aerial phenomenon. Yeah, that's Bigfoot. He flies around.
Yeah.
What is the other word they say, Kristian? Unidentified aerial.
Anomalous.
What is it?
Anomalous.
Anonymous.
Anomalous.
I think it was. regardless of any of this, I think that was the stupidest thing they did was change the name just to confuse people.
Yeah.
Because I think that if you're going to have a conversation, then you have to explain what UAP means.
Right.
And
It's true. Ian Davis.
No, I think it's so smart. You think that's true?
It's because of this, because of the stigma.
The stigma. It's not to confuse people.
Right.
The UFO, everybody's like, UAP. People are like, oh, what is that? And they listen.
I agree. Ian Davis, just want to give a shout out to Brett. Brett, you're a great dude. Please talk more on the show and give your opinions. You're always funny and you're always insightful. Thank you, Ian. What a nice thing. Brett was good today. Brett, when you were doing Brett's in a good mood. Brett's in a good mood. You're going to have a good show. Artem, the crazy world we live in. We have so much crazy shit going on daily that proof that aliens exist is not even top 10 news of the day. Right? The fact that it didn't lead with the fact that a rear admiral was saying, yeah, most likely is alien stuff. And Brett didn't even know about the hearing, knew nothing about it.
Yeah, they're like, could it be private companies? They're like,
right.
Probably aliens, bro.
Yeah, Jack, 199. Thank you, Jack. Oh, Jake Yakavetta, only in here when Roxy's in here. Never see Jake ever unless Roxy's in here.
Much love, homie.
Yeah. Just rewatched yesterday's show. Christian, how dare you hate on Samantha Irvin? I didn't hate on Samantha Irvin.
Okay, but that negates your point.
What does that mean?
Just rewatched yesterday's show.
I
wasn't here.
Oh, okay. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. She's liked a few of my tweets, so we're basically besties. Fair enough. No, everything I hear about Samantha Irvin is that she is a wonderful human being, and that everyone that I know that has met her, worked with her, sing her praises to that she's just a wonderful person. I am not a fan of her announcing style. But I am clearly in the minority. She is beloved. I feel it's a little too dramatic and screaming for me. I
love how she does like different things for people's names.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, she's
stylized.
She left the company. She's not there anymore.
Yeah, I know. I saw Chris Van Vliet did an interview with her.
Yeah,
that's how I found that out.
Lillian Garcia is back, but
you know that Lillian and I were at AfterBuzz together for years.
Yeah, she's back now too. And
Lillian's great.
I think Lillian approaches it more in that traditional sports thing. That's what I prefer.
She's very traditional. Yeah. She's rock solid. Lillian's great.
I prefer that style personally, but not everybody did. So there you go.
I remember when we were there and she was doing the after the show, she would have these headphones that she bedazzled every time. Cool. She would like glitz and glam. Totally WWE old school.
Yep. Joe Frisbee, what show were you most upset got canceled too early? Mine was Mindhunter on Netflix. Was stoked to see what they planned with BTK, Roxy and Brett, FTW. I gotta really think about that because
every show. Friends from College was the most recent one that I was annoyed when Netflix canceled. That it was so good. There was a show called V that I was bummed when it was canceled.
The classic V, the alien show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was an '80s show.
No. They did a reboot of it in the 2000s.
Yeah, I know. It was like 2005. So I was at
Marina Baccarin.
Yeah. And but
I was bummed when that got canceled.
Arrested Development, and then when it came back, it just wasn't the same.
That's right. I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's one that
Freaks and Geeks. That was a big one, obviously.
Yeah, I have to really think about it as far as which shows. But most upset that got canceled. I don't know. I gotta think about that. Jack, didn't LaRusso kill a guy with that dog? Is that from the new season? I guess, Roxy.
I haven't finished it, but LaRusso could kill a guy with that dog. I don't know.
Darian Harmon, as her publicist, I would have changed Ziegler's post to "I hope everyone gets everything that they voted for," followed by a passive-aggressive smiling emoji. Yeah, but it's true because it's so much more vague. It's so much more vague.
I think that being mature is not wishing pain, even on people you perceive to be your enemies.
Right.
Like I wish the best for people. So it's a weird thing to say. I'm not. It's definitely weird.
Yeah, it's put the phone down. Take a breath. Yeah. Take a breath.
But that's why I'm saying if I was her friend, I'd be like, you're not well. We got to talk about because that's not a healthy thought.
No.
She's probably menstruating. That's probably right, guys. High five, everyone. No, is that not the? It's not the take that we're not taking that take. I can't.
Captain Penis says the most controversial topic currently is the people's sexiest man alive, John Krasinski. Scratching my
Yeah,
head.
so I am so fucking annoyed with people over this. First of all, I love John Krasinski. He is sexy. Just let it be. Second of all, people don't like
This guy says
research these things.
Captain Penis says Glenn Powell.
Okay, they offered it to Glenn Powell. He
they said
turned
no?
it down. What
Okay.
were they supposed to do?
Oh.
That's everybody's like, how dare you guys not do? I'm not saying Captain Penis.
So he's not really the sexiest man then.
Yeah,
he's not.
the second.
If someone turned it
They
down,
offered it to Pedro Pascal as well.
how do
Pedro
you offer it
down.
to somebody? You just say this is who we think it is.
You can't use somebody on your cover that won't take a picture.
Oh.
Wow.
They both turned it down.
I think it's stupid anyway.
Okay.
Armada. Alden Ehrenreich is playing Obadiah Stone's son in Ironheart. Interesting. And new teaser for How to Train Your Dragon movie live action trailer dropped. I know. I heard. I'm going to watch that. I think.
Did it drop today?
Dropped right when we were on the air. Yeah.
Let's watch it.
I want to see it. Gopai says, have any of you, Roxy, seen the Day of the Jackal series? The book was great, but I wonder how they'll update it.
Listen, I've had multiple people recommend this to me this week. So I forget who the star is. Some big cast. I hear that it's good. I have not seen it yet.
People were guessing the budget to the Schmodown, and somebody guessed.
What did they guess?
Somebody guessed $120,000 for the budget for the 100 competitors that we had, for the employees that were working there, for the live events that we did, for the production, for the rentals and everything you had to do. That's what I mean. People don't even have a clue. And when I would tell somebody what the real number was, they go, "Oh, it's a lot of money." We were struggling to not tape things up with toilet paper.
It was a whole show.
It was a show.
Yeah.
It was a show.
Eddie Redmayne, that's who's Jackal. People say that he's really good in it. Lashana Lynch, too. Really good cast. I haven't seen it, though.
Bobby Jackson. Kristian, will you be dropping your How to Train Your Dragon live action reaction right after this show? I believe so. I think I'm going to jump right on and do that after this is over. Gopai comes back. Is it Gopal? I keep saying Gopai. It's Gopal. I apologize. The novel was about a plot to kill de Gaulle by veterans upset about the French pullout from Algeria. Oh, okay. Oh, I do. I want to. I mean, there's so much stuff I want to watch.
I know.
This is crazy. Captain Penis. What's the Via discount code? Today, I would say via.com/DTE. Use that one. Via.com/DTE. Use that one.
Down to eradicate.
Yeah. Sure. Mike Joyce. There's something not right about an Amazon movie like Red One opening in a mall and talking about how great malls are when Amazon helped kill malls. I guess
Did you like Red One?
I didn't dislike it.
Okay.
I just thought it was a good streaming movie. Do you need to see it in theaters? No.
Okay.
No. All right, let's see what else. We get to the next question. We are at 63 thus far, guys. 63. And Bobby said, Denzel said in an Esquire magazine interview that they're working on Equalizer 4 and 5. Do you think it's a good idea, or should they have left it at 3? I liked 3. I liked 3 a lot. I thought 3 worked, but the reason why I would say go ahead and give 4 a shot. They don't cost a lot of money to make, and it's Denzel, and people are going to want to keep seeing it until they don't want to see it anymore. So that to me is worth the risk.
As long as he can keep equalizing.
Yeah, right.
Keep him going.
Yeah.
Denzel still looks like an action star too. So I think that it's cool to watch as he kind of ages what Equalizer turns into.
Yeah, I agree. Daniel Breen. Roxy, thanks for recommending My Old Ass. It was really good. Aubrey Plaza is having quite the year. So
she really is.
I saw it. Did you see that? If that to me that was written, that role was written for you.
Yeah, your text to me made me like almost cry. I was so happy.
You could have easily played that role.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. It's so good. Didn't you like them? It's really cute.
It's a sweet movie, and that I was trying to figure out where I knew that the guy from, and he's from Wednesday. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But talk about controversial. We don't have time on this stream right now.
He was controversial. What did he do? Did he do something?
Actually, I shouldn't have even brought it up because it's too long for the show right now.
Dude, why don't you text me about it?
Okay.
All right.
Maybe Captain Penis will tell us.
Captain Penis will let us know. Adam Roseland. Accidental injury stoppage before round 4 is a no contest. Yeah, so I guess that's me. I don't know. I don't know what they said. Brett, you got to get a clarification on that. Armada. Did you finish season 2 of The Old Man? No, I didn't.
I still have a couple episodes.
Yeah, I didn't. I never got a chance to. There's just so much, and when I'm watching
will.
movies and everything too. It's funny because my wife and I are really into season 1, and I could tell she wasn't into season 2 as much.
There's a lot of subtitles in season 2, so I can't watch it while I'm
much.
cooking and doing things. Yeah.
Captain Penis is back. Brett is
Hey.
the greatest human being alive. I'm curious.
Thank you.
What are his personal favorite movies, shows, all time? Also, same question for Roxy and Kristian. Well, I'll go quick and I'll just say,
go while I'm thinking.
Breaking Bad, Sopranos are the first ones that pop in there. I would say The Wire is another one that pops in there. As far as movies, the ones that Empire Strikes Back, Braveheart, Wolf of Wall Street. There's tons, but those are the ones that pop into my head. Oh, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, pump up the volume.
Mm-hmm. I agree
Friends,
with Kristian on that one.
Leftovers, Lost, Good Will Hunting, Princess Bride, role models.
And these are just because of the time that this happened, but 24 and Alias was a time that my wife and I were first together and living together, and I would walk back and forth from the Blockbuster and should I go get one more, and we'd watch until like 4 a.m. So, and films, Royal Tenenbaums. I agree with Sunshine Mind of the Mind, and then
nailed it.
Got it.
Yeah, Buckaroo Banzai.
I love Sunshine Mind of the Mind.
It's a really good one. Adam Roseland. Kristian, you're my spirit animal. What's y'all's?
Ooh, not to be the PC police, but I don't think we say that anymore.
We don't say spirit animal anymore?
Yeah.
Why?
The indigenous community wasn't
Oh.
stoked about it or something. Anyway, again, I just don't want Kristian saying it and then that to be clipped out like Kristian said.
All right, Daniel.
Cancel Kristian. Kristian is great.
Daniel Breen. Alan Tudyk confirmed as Clayface in DCU. Thoughts?
Is it true?
That's what he said. I have to look
Go
it
get
up.
him, Alan.
Alan Tudyk's great. You can't.
Alan Tudyk is great, and I could definitely see him and Gunn being buddies. I think they probably are.
Yeah.
As Clayface.
I don't know. I just say Scott Cross. Did you watch George Knapp's investigation Alien yet? Finished it the other day. Very interesting. Sorry if you already talked about it late to the show. I started it. I got to 2 episodes and I thought it was really good. I got to finish it out. I'm glad you reminded me too, because like I said, there's just so much stuff. I forget sometimes.
My dad's a bigger fan than you. He already finished.
Yeah, I need to finish it. Joey Pedris, thoughts on how Sonic 3 will do? It'll do very well. Seems fairly quiet on the advertising front. Comes out in a month. You give it time. It's going to be a heavy push. It'll do very well because it's that and Mufasa. It won't do as good as Mufasa, but it'll do very well.
Agreed.
Yeah. How many more we got here? You're at 67 so far, Roxy. Pretty damn good.
Woo!
Pretty damn good. You guys beat Rocha for sure. The Cali Kid, thoughts on Heretic? I think it's a great movie. I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna watch it this weekend. It's one of the ones on the list. I'm also gonna watch Juror number 3. Is that what it is? Juror number 3?
I think it's 2. I think it's
Juror
number 2.
Oh, that looks good.
I'm gonna watch that this weekend too.
Maybe you're gonna watch number 3. We don't know.
There's a sequel already. I didn't even know about it. Adam Roseland, nerd fact: the first morality clause was used in 1921 by Universal Pictures after actor Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle was accused of murder. Oh wow, that is a
Fatty Arbuckle.
Fatty did some bad shit, man.
The fact
I'm not joking.
You knew?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you should look it up. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
Nerds Engaged does it again. Gave away 5 memberships to the channel.
Nice.
Really, really nice. Thank you. He gave a whole bunch away. He's continuing to give a bunch
Get
away.
one for me.
Wow, that's really great. So I think we only have a couple left. Roxy, hang in there. We have Marcos M. What's a character other than the big 3 or director that you're hoping to see in Gunn's DCU? Is there an Elseworlds tale you would like to see? I am really now hoping and crossing my fingers. I know that it is every day less and less a chance that Billy Magnuson will become Booster Gold. I know that it is probably
Because of the age, you mean?
Age? No. Because it's Camille. Is that his? I was messing.
Nanjiani?
Yes, he's rumored to play Booster Gold.
Camille Nanjiani is rumored to play Booster Gold.
Yeah, and I think he's really good, but I don't see him in that role, and I think that he's.
That's interesting.
Booster
but
Gold is supposed to be like the living Ken doll come to life. And he's like this got this
Yeah, I mean,
arrogance about him.
Camille's ripped.
Yeah,
He is ripped.
Sure,
but
I also
it's
feel like
just
he's being
not who
cast,
I'd picture.
and I also feel like he's being cast in that type of Ghostbusters and in Eternals. He's been
Eternals,
cast all these types of roles. The same thing. It's like it's fun. Let's give somebody else a shot. And so yeah, Booster Gold. What about you guys? Anybody else you want to see in Guns DCU before Roxy has to go? Because I want to make sure we.
I always love Black Canary, Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy is a good one. All right.
I really want to see Professor Pig. That's who I've been like pushing for, but I don't know that that's what we're gonna do.
Stephanie Litz, love the Brett and Roxy episode. Silo season 2 for Stephanie. Stephanie is excited for season 2.
If you can see it.
That's right. Shay Markel, if Liam Neeson's old ass can hop on a fence for 15 seconds, then Denzel can get to a 4th equalizer before his retirement. Facts.
100%.
Facts. Nick Alexander, Roxy, my old ass was so good. It was a tearjerker for sure. It's a really good movie.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. And I like that they didn't rely on Aubrey Plaza. They don't rely on her.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Artem, why most projects on HBO are so much better than Marvel's now? Do they have less interference from studio execs? And I also think they're putting, because I think that the HBO is like one particular thing, and Marvel's just trying to do a lot. But I think they're trying to rein it in. That's what we're hoping for. Okay, this is from the next one. Here is come on, let's go from Nelia. What do you think is the greatest nude scene in your movie watching history, and why? By the way, Roxy is amazing.
Thank you.
Best nude scene.
Oh, nothing came to, usually something flashes to me immediately. Nothing came to mind right now.
Why didn't
but I did just watch Substance, and the nude scenes in Substance are unbelievably done.
Well, can I
like sometimes
can I go TV?
Yeah, you should.
Alexandria Daddario in True Detective.
Oh, you just mean like the sexiest nude scene?
Yeah.
What was the question?
What do you think the greatest nude scene in your movie watching history? I gotta go.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Because anyone that
Charlize Theron.
Oh, in Devil's Advocate.
No. Was she knew that one?
Too quick, Kristian.
I remember it.
She was laying on a bed in
the Advocate at 4 minutes 39 seconds.
Yeah, right. Do you mean the one that's my screensaver?
I love Jennifer Lawrence too. In the most,
yeah,
I thought that was really like powerful.
Roxy, if you have anything opened up on your browser, close it because it's like it's hurting your internet.
I don't.
Oh, I don't know. Well, Captain Penis says Roxy and Brett over Rocha. There you go. The Dart Double 05. Brett,
I'm clear. Oh, whatever.
No. Hey, Brett, I have a flat butt for an older guy. Do you have any tips?
Oh, Jesus, me too. I'm sad.
Such a great inside joke.
I'd say do some walking, long strides upstairs.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's our show with the flat butt
guys.
And everything else. Roxy, where can the people find you here?
You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striker.
Brett, what's going on? Tell us about that new thing you just posted last night.
Yeah.
So I've been talking about it. Please go check it out on Above Board TV. It's a middle-aged wasteland is what it's called. And it's my friend and I building a war rig, a Mad Max war rig for the Wasteland weekend that took place in the desert. And it's funny, and it's like it's reality show type thing. And I really appreciate everybody's support on that, and like and comment and all that business. And maybe Kristian can put a link or something. I don't know.
Will do. And last one here is actually from Gopal, who says, I think Brett's thinking of 2 Days in the Valley.
Is it?
Maybe.
No, it's Good Night, You Kings of England. You, what's that one? God.
Goodbye.
Bye, Roxy.
All right. Bye, Rox.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you guys being here today. Apple Podcast, anywhere that podcasts are found. Spotify, obviously. Make sure you're commenting. We have a bunch of stuff. I got my Wicked reaction coming tomorrow. I do have a bunch of interviews coming up. I have Jaleel White coming. That one will be next week for sure. And that's it. So comment, do it all. I'm going to go check out the How to Train Your Dragon live action trailer right now. Thanks to Brett. Thanks to Roxy. We'll see you guys on the flip side. And check out our sponsors today. Helps us out tremendously. Bye-bye.